Yeah.
I'm not that type of guy. I'm more of a servant leader. When I'm
Yeah.
leading my employees, when I'm leading my team, I'm more understanding. I'm not as aggressive.
Yeah.
Um, I'm more of a systems guy. I'm more of a believing in the system, putting people in the right position to succeed, the right position to
Gotcha.
win in
Gotcha.
life. I'm all about relationships. But when you take on the role, you take on the personality like they had, it's much harder to do that, man.
Mm,
Everybody doesn't respond to that well, you know.
okay. Well, guys, the panel is not open. Frizz the Great, Nathan. I see where Nathan was coming from. Frizz the Great, what say you, sir?
Um, in response to Mr. Nathan, how
Bobby
you doing,
Seale,
man?
I'm sorry, Frizz the Great, I gotta cut you off. Bobby Seale, you son of a bitch. Bobby Seale. Well, if you had to choose between Captain Samuels and Smoking Crack, which one would it be? Bobby Seale, I'm not gonna lie to you, I would ban you from coming over here, but I rock with you. Salute to you, sir. Go ahead, guys. You got the floor.
Okay. Um, Everybody says Obama was good, right? He knew how to play the game, but
Yeah.
like the game that he was playing so good that he did the people that supported him wrong. He just, hey, you know what? I'm hitting here. Don't worry, guys. I got you. Let me just get these guys. They're. Let me just push these guys. Let me agree with these guys' agendas, even though I don't agree with it. And oh, don't worry. And then the second term is the same level of chaos, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so bad that it can be argued that yeah, it pushed the black woman forward, but it pushed the black man back,
Black men
and
forward.
absolutely,
Uh,
absolutely, they felt
okay.
like they dictated his presidency. They felt like they got him in office. There's no ifs or buts that, and truthfully, you could say they did, but like there was no agenda for the black man that was ever pushed. You know what I mean? Like um, that George Bush did the Second Chance Act that freed a lot of the federal prisoners that was wrongfully incarcerated because of their times, because of the time, and gave a opened the door for that. But like I'm talking like he opened up affirmative action and try to, no disrespect, but try to like say that the gay movement, it was just as hard on in America as it is for black men. You know what I mean? As they even said it was as hard as slavery. We used to have to eat out of a pigsty. How can
Mm-hmm.
like how can we not relate to those? You know what I'm saying? How can we call those things equal? You know what I mean?
Now
What?
I want to stop you real quick because I'm listening to you, Frizz the Great. You just said that we had to eat out of a pigsty. So you saw the slaves eating out of a pigsty?
Uh-oh.
It was written.
Oh, it was written.
It,
Okay.
it was written. You could see that,
Do you
and not
believe
only
Darth Vader is real too? Because you see it on the screen too.
um, I believe Darth Vader as well.
So the
I mean,
slaves ate out of a pigsty.
Hey, Frizz, let me ask you this.
okay,
Frizz, do you believe that Obama was the worst president ever?
no,
That was written too.
no, I do not. I have my own mind, but I don't think people understand the brutality that that slavery was for the black
So
people.
Frizz, what? Well, okay, so can I ask you a question? And again, I'm just asking questions.
Okay.
I went to an elementary school, and there was this girl. This really happened.
Mhm.
She came into the classroom. We all thought she was Chinese.
Okay.
She was Cambodian, and she gave us, like when you're a little kid, you got to give a story when you walk in. Oh, my name is such and such. Shut up. So she gave a story. She said her family had fled a civil war. Now, we were
Mhm.
kids. We didn't understand what civil war meant. We didn't understand none of that. Her family had fled Cambodia. Cambodia had went through a civil war. Hundreds of thousands had got killed or exterminated.
Mhm.
When I was in college, sir, I dated 2 Rwandan girls. They saw their families massacred in the genocide that took place 28 years ago.
Okay.
The Kardashian family, their family was killed. A lot of their family were killed in the Armenian genocide. Other groups
Okay.
of people have been through atrocities, sir. So
Hmm.
they don't complain.
Mhm.
Why? So what does slavery? You mentioned slavery. So what does that have to do with anything compared to anybody else?
Well, no,
Trauma.
I was using that as an example of the example they use, like, hey, we're gay, and they being gays as hard as slavery. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That's one of the examples of, being untreated on the same level, and that's like not far that's a far different cry and a far different level of misery and pain. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, I got you. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like and you know you you read about the level of brutality that was done to us in many books, and you cannot we cannot equate those two. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Now I
I
kind
want
of
to point out that my ancestors sold you black asses into slavery. I just want to point that out, guys. To everybody in the chat, go ahead, guys.
Oh, okay.
They did though. My ancestors were slave owners. Yeah.
And chaotic. Do you feel that we're still feeling the?
But why
effects of
say that?
slavery?
Why say that, brother? Like why?
I
It's
just
the
want to
truth.
point
It's
out.
the
Wait a minute. Give me a second. Give
You
me
know
a
what I mean?
second.
Like why say why don't like
Whoa,
is that like the decent Negro?
I'm
you know
gonna
what I mean?
tell you. Wait a minute, y'all. Not you, sir, but when I mean y'all, black people, foundational black Americans, like pointing out that y'all were slaves. So I want to point out that my ancient ancestors sold y'all into slavery. We were slave owners. Go ahead.
But like no. My thing is, you had a point to that to express that thought. You know what I mean? And I thought we were just some black men. And like if it's just like, hey, me trying to be an asshole, then
No.
boom, then I respect it. Hey, you know what? I'm a little bit better black man. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna throw this jab. Or is it like yo, listen, hey, you know what? Now, because if you said it with some intent and say, yo, listen, my family used to sell y'all black asses into slavery, and I understand that the brutality, and I understand that something my family did was not right, but you did not come with no form of
No, I can't.
proper emotion. You came with some cockiness. Like, yeah, I think I changed. You know, but like who are you superior to, sir? Like think about that. Like who are you because if you was in if a white man was here, he tell you shut the fuck up. It's a good chance that you're going to shut the fuck up and respect his badge.
I wouldn't. Most white.
I totally doubt. Have you ever? So you never dealt with a bad police officer?
Never in my life. Never dealt with a bad police officer.
What region? Where you live at? If you don't mind me asking.
I live in the Midwest.
Midwest. So
yeah, I don't. I've been told not to name drop anymore, but I live in the Midwest. But what about it though, sir?
Okay, so like you know.
I've never dealt with a bad police officer. I've only dealt with officers, and I've complied. Generally, when blacks are pulled over, we're speeding. We got weed in the car. We're doing something illegal. Tents.
Is that what you think of us?
Oh, it's not even thinking. It's the truth.
Yeah, is that what I don't smoke weed. Nathan, do you smoke weed? Like, is that what you think of us?
Chris, stop.
Come on. Is that what you think? I don't smoke.
Chris.
Sir, I don't smoke. Nobody I know smokes.
Chris, you're open-minded. I can see that. But
yes.
Let's stop the cap.
But we're not going
to. Whenever we're pulled over, sir, either your tags are expired, suspended license, you were speeding, stop. Niggas love rolling stop at the stop signs. So we're generally doing something wrong. Most of the times, your niggas got weed on you or something in the car. Police tell you, "Hey, put the weed out. Put the weed out. Put the weed out. Put the weed out, son.
You should listen. Look,
put the weed out. Come on, man. Stop, Chris. Let's stop. Why we capping? Stop it, Chris. Stop it. Your nigga, your guard. You're breaking the law.
You know what I mean?
I know it's minor traffic infractions. I know you're black and you don't want to. You feel like you're above the law without reproach, but you've done something wrong. And no, I have not encountered a bad cop. I've only encountered cops that did their job professionally, and I gave them my license and registration. Yes. There was one time when a cop did get loud with me. I was 16 years old. I was in my city. This white female cop pulled me over. I got out of my car and said, "Why you pulled me?" I didn't scream out. I said, "What's going on?" She said, "Get back in the car. What are you doing?" And I got back in the car and I gave her my license and registration. And she scolded me for getting out the car. She said, "Young man, you are a teenage driver, but you cannot get out the car when I pull you over." That's what happened. Go ahead, sir.
Well, can I respond?
Yes.
Mr. Nathan, if you disagree with me, just you know what I mean, say I'm wrong. But like, yo, this is what's going on, right? Like, look, you're being conveniently black. You're boosting up Kevin Samuels, right?
I'm boosting up Kevin Samuels. Okay, go ahead.
You know, you did. Which you mean? Which he deserves his respect because he was a great man. But then you're saying, hey, you niggas ain't shit. You know what I mean? And like, come on, man.
Sir, you're putting. Hold on for a second. Pause.
You just co-sign every stereotype.
I did not say niggas ain't shit, sir.
Like,
You're putting.
You just did.
Sir, you are
Mr.
putting
Nathan,
words in my mouth that I did not say.
He
Nathan,
said, "Come on, man. You guys are smoking weed. You guys."
I didn't say that you weren't shit
You
though.
ain't
I said that
smoking.
you probably were smoking.
I don't smoke weed. You know what I mean?
Frizz, hold on for a second. Is there a delay or something? Frizz, you asked me, have I ever encountered a bad police officer? I said no. Then you're saying, oh, well, what about this? I'm saying no. I said generally when blacks are pulled over, you've done something against the law. You're speeding. You've rolled past the stop sign. Your tags are expired. Your bumper's hanging off your car. Your motor's loud. You're doing something wrong, and there's nothing wrong with admitting that. I admitted every time I got pulled over as a teenager, I was speeding. Every time I got pulled over as an adult, I was speeding or drinking or driving, acting a fool. I will admit it.
Fatality, arrest, and death.
Sir, there are statistics that prove that whites are killed at higher rates with the police. They're not black, it's whites. And sir, it is the truth. You can look at the stats yourself. You don't have to talk to me. And a lot of times when blacks are killed by the police,
I don't believe it's higher, chaotic. Come on, now. I don't think it's a higher percentage of whites getting killed.
I'm rocking. Listen, bro, I am rocking with you. I'm trying. Listen,
let me ask you. Okay. Hold on for a second. Let me ask you a question, Nathan. A black medical doctor is driving his car. A police decides to pull him over, and they pull him over and they just shoot and kill him. When in the history has that ever happened?
I agree with you. No. I think two things can be true at the same time.
Okay.
I agree with you. I agree with what you're saying. And I agree with what he's saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
Usually they're doing something bad. I agree with you on that.
Smoking weed. They got the gun on them. They're doing something wrong.
Right. You're right. You're 100% right. But 20%. What percentage of cops are bad though? I don't think.
How many percent?
What percentage of cops are bad?
1%. Okay, I could give you about 1%. That's the most I give you, about 1%. Generally, cops are just guys who want to do their job.
Are you a cop?
I beg your pardon.
Are you a cop?
I was never a cop, but I was a probation officer. Yes.
1%.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is what we disagree at. You're not being realistic, man.
Oh my goodness.
Nathan, hold on for a second. Can you turn your mic up, Nathan? You got an external mic?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Can you turn it for me? Okay. I see where this is gonna go. I'm gonna talk nice. I'm not gonna be like myself. I'm just gonna talk nice to you guys.
Okay. Sir, can
you never drove your car obeying the law and some random cop pull you over and say, "Nigga, where you going?" That ain't never happened to you.
It don't.
What? No. Please, sir. Let me. I done seen that happen on so many.
Put the weed out, son.
I don't smoke weed.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking. You said seen
But
it happen
I,
before.
I've been a victim of that. You know what I'm saying? So like I've seen it happen so many
Okay,
times.
so tell us your victim story, sir. I would love to hear it.
No. I'm not. Listen. All right, with that, I don't have a victim mentality. I just acknowledge what's out there.
Okay, how about this,
You know
sir?
what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you something else. A cop is not stupid. They're going to know who has resources and who don't have resources.
Frizz, I had to mute you. You're talking in circles. Now, the last time I was up here, I was kicking niggas off left and right. I'm asking you, sir, can you tell us the story that happened to you? Could you give us the date, the time, the officer's name? Because I would love to get the officer's name that restricted your rights, and I would love to file charges and help you out. I would love to go to the FBI on your behalf. What was the officer's name, sir, that victimized you?
Well, you know what? I do not remember.
Oh,
Wait, but
you don't remember? Okay.
But listen, I would definitely.
And you don't have any information.
Stop, sir. But I would definitely, by all means, definitely. And listen, I admit when I do something wrong. I've been locked up before, and I earned my time. You know what I'm saying? So listen, man,
that you've been locked up and you earned your time.
You know what I mean? And when I say I'm innocent, I generally mean I'm innocent. You know what I mean? So when I said, you know, I seen it happen on a, you know, just a regular stop and frisk, and it led to something wrong, or what the fuck is the purpose of a regular stop and frisk?
I'm sorry, we can't curse. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm apologize. So what's the purpose of a regular stop and frisk anyway? You have to understand. You once was a police officer. I'm a probation officer.
I am in total support of stop and frisk. Stop and frisk is one of the reasons why in New York in the 90s the crime rate was significantly lower than that of the 70s. Stop and frisk was supported by people who did not commit crimes. And the fact of the matter is that people who love committing crimes have a problem with stop and frisk. I know a lot of men who are associates of mine were upset with me because I supported or actually worked for Michael Bloomberg. They said, "How could you work for him, man? He had stop and frisk." Now, mind you, the people asking me this were career criminals. I said, "Nigga, you only are upset with that because you yourself can't stop committing crimes, nigga. If you stop committing crimes, you don't have to worry about stop and frisk. So don't get mad at me because I'm working for this white man. He paying $8,000 every 2 weeks. Don't get mad at him. I'll work for him all day long, nigga."
May I reply?
Word, nigga, JR. Go ahead.
May
I want to point out that normal man says niggas glorify gang members in crime, and then they get caught committing the crime. They the victims. Normal man about to give me a heart attack, guys. Please. Oh, hold on for a second. Frizz, give me 1 second, sir. Come on, guys. Hit the super chat. People want me to read the comments. Hit the super chat. This is guys, come on. Hit the super chat, man. Get the likes up. Go ahead, Frizz. Sorry.
Okay, listen. One, you were so wrong about stop and frisk. People was not complaining that was criminals. People was complaining that was dressed a certain way. Oh, you know, so
maybe you didn't dress. See, this is a perfect. See, now hold on, stop. Now, this is why Kevin Samuels is important.
Uh-huh.
Maybe if you had dressed like Kevin Samuels, you wouldn't get stopped and frisked in New York.
But
Maybe if you didn't dress like Wu-Tang Clan in the 90s, they wouldn't have stopped and frisked you.
Oh my goodness, sir! That does not give a reason for a cop to search your balls.
Oh, it gives every reason.
No,
You back yourself.
you look like no, don't. Like, are you serious?
Oh, I'm 100%.
That's still wrong, chaotic.
Sir, let me tell you something. There are
come
kids.
on, man. Like, yo, like,
Frizz,
yo, are you?
Frizz,
I'm trying to be real with you, yo.
Frizz, there are kids that
Uh-huh.
I used to teach
Uh-huh.
that were a part of street gangs.
Uh-huh.
It could be 80 degrees outside, and the little niggas are walking around wearing hoodies and Timbs. You know why they're wearing that? Because they're packing heat on them. So if I'm a cop, I'm like, why is this black kid walking around with a hoodie on in the middle of the summer and it's 90 degrees outside? You know what? Follow this little kid real quick. And sure enough, He has a weapon on him that's been used in the complicity of a crime or something, robbery or something.
Please let me
I
respond.
totally agree with that.
Please. Listen, I live in Southeast Pennsylvania.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean? So like, if you was to say, hey, I'm a treat white people with the same level of investigation as I treat black people.
White people.
Imagine the charges that would be brought up. Imagine the charge. Hey, yo, you're 16 years old. Why you got a shotgun? You're 15 years old. You're riding your dirt bike down the street. I think people don't acknowledge other people's cultures and they just criticize it about one specific culture. And like, yo, because like
let Nathan talk real quick. Hold on, let Nathan talk. Nathan, you want to ask me a question, sir? Hold on, Frizz. Hold on for a second. Take it easy.
Now, to this point, both of y'all got. Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me better?
Now your mic, now your Wi-Fi is frozen. What's up? But we can hear you. What's going on, sir? Oh, sorry. No smoking cigarettes on the camera. I'm sorry about that. There's no. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You have like a cigar. You're fine. You can put your avatar on if you want to.
So both points.
Just like a black person. So gotta smoke something. Gotta drink something.
Stereotype of a black man.
He's smoking. Am I lying?
You're right.
Did he not just smoke? Did he not? Go ahead, Nathan. You got the floor, sir. Go ahead.
Chaotic. You're right, but is it fair? Is it right to stereotype every culture?
Is absolutely right to stereotype, and it is absolutely.
You still there? I think he froze up.
Yeah, I think he froze up.
I just don't think it's right, man, to stereotype any culture, man. This is the bad part. I agree with what he's saying, So a white kid with a hoodie, with baggy pants on, do you think he will get pulled over or stopped at the same rate as a black kid? What would you say?
I think he's frozen. I don't know what's going on. Something's
no, for you. I'm asking you.
Can you hear me?
Oh, me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. It's okay, guys. This DNS connect. Okay, never mind. But I'm sorry, Nathan. You asked me, was it right?
So I was gonna ask. So since so this is the question. So a white kid who has baggy pants with a hoodie, walking in a rough neighborhood, do you think that they would get pulled over and stopped at the same rate as a black kid?
Yes.
Or as a minority?
Oh,
shit. Chaotic. Come on now, the equal rate. Come on.
Are you guys gonna let me talk or not? Are you gonna? Are we? Hold on for a second. Wait a minute. Are we gonna do this or not?
Chaotic. You're not being.
Sir,
come on.
Nathan.
I agree with you,
Nathan,
but I think you're biased or something.
That's what I'm saying.
Nathan, this is the importance of a Kevin Samuels. Unfortunately, the stick-up kids in New York, the stick-up kids in LA, they wear baggy clothes, they wear hoodies, they look a certain way, they have a certain costume. Okay? They're not wearing. They're not wearing.
Sir, listen. I'm gonna tell you.
Okay. How about this? I'm gonna camp down, and this is your show now. Go ahead, sir. I'm gonna camp down.
Because listen, you was a probation officer. I was in a federal prison for 9 years. So like that is so not true. So I spoke to every race of man. And I listened to every level of crime. I did. I was infatuated with it. Like, wow, okay, this is how they do this. This is how they do that. And I'm telling you, when it comes to robberies and stuff like that, it has nothing to do about how you are dressed.
Can I be honest with you, man? Let me be honest with you. It is very important, especially in this day and age, to stereotype, especially blacks.
Wow.
It's not like these kids are killing each other in large rates. These kids are harming civilians now. I could give you case after case. I hear it every day. I do shows on this. There was a case out in, I think it was in Memphis, Tennessee. Black woman, she was a church lady, walking to her car, and some kids ran up on her, carjacked her, and shot her and killed her. Now you would think, well, damn, if you're gonna carjack her, why even shoot her? She's an old woman. What's she gonna do? Fight you for her car? These kids, these little hood gremlins are harming civilians. Now, in my opinion, and I used to tell kids this: listen, if you're in a gang, kill each other. You know, if you kill each other, don't shoot into a crowd and kill a little beautiful little black baby, which happens day after day, and nobody talks about it. Nobody says we're gonna do a live stream about this little beautiful little 7-year-old girl that died innocently from a stray bullet because niggas can't aim. Nobody does that. So, in my opinion, I think we need to be very vigilant on black crime because it affects the civilian population. So, yes, if I see some little gremlins walking around with hoodies and stuff, you're damn right. If I'm not a cop, but you're damn right. If I was a cop, if I see a cop stereotyping them, I'm like, well, you know, fuck them, because they're up to no good. It's not like they're gonna harm. It's not like they're gonna harm another gang member. They're literally harming civilians. That's the problem.
But are they just bad kids?
These gremlins didn't harm civilians. I would say they could do what they want to do. They could be open season, kill each other.
So let me ask you this. Chaotic. I don't mean to cut you off. Let me ask you this. So,
go ahead,
me growing up in the time in the hood and not in the suburbs, single family home. So I'm walking around with white tee and jeans like everybody else.
Yeah.
I wasn't part of the gang, but I wouldn't want to rob anybody. So if I get pulled over by a cop, I'm just collateral damage.
You're damn right. Your family. Well, I'm asking your question, Nathan. Your family has failed you if you grew up in a single parent household. You listen. You have to start looking at your own family. Mom, why did I grow up like this? Dad, why did I grow up like this? Family, why did I grow up in the hood? It's mind-boggling. And no offense to your family, Nathan. It's mind-boggling that people, even to this day, are having. I see where I live at. You know, you see hood rat chicks having babies, 3 and 4 of them, walking with a stroller, and it's in worse of a condition. And I'm like, why on earth would this girl be having all these kids? She is purposely setting up a next generation to fail or to be victims of crime or to be victims of black on anything. So we have to stop. This is why I say Kevin Samuels was important to the black culture, because he was talking about elitism, and elitism is eliminating what has made the black culture inferior. That is inferior behavior, the hood. We got to get off this. There should be no hoods anymore, in my opinion.
But I think you're missing the fact. We're not gonna get into slavery. Like, we know your pants on slave. Man, my grandparents' parents just learned how to read. My granddad probably didn't know how to read. We're not even that far removed.
5 or 6 trades.
He was a hard worker.
Yep, I bet you he was a carpenter or something. I bet you. So, okay.
So when I look back at my mother, who's a single mom who made a lot of bad decisions, and how can I look at her and be like, Mom, what the heck are you doing? No, I looked at her even at that age, that young age, with wisdom, and be like, man, my granddad didn't even know how to read. Like that. I mean, that's how close we are. We're not that far removed from
slavery. Sir, neither did the Italian Americans that came to Ellis Island. They didn't know how to read English either. So what excuse? So what? If your grandfather didn't know how to read, so what? What about
God?
What about the Italian Americans came here on Ellis? Hold on for a second. Let me mute this nigga. I see why he got pulled over.
So chaotic. So this is a
what
race.
What about the Hungarians? What about other groups of people that came here and went to Ellis Island in the 20s and the 30s, and in one generation they became judges, they became doctors? What about those people?
Is that the majority or the minority? It's not the majority. You're talking about a small subset. You're talking about a small percentage of people who became successful.
Who came to this country in 1920s and 30s, who were illiterate of English. They were illiterate just as much as your grandparent, right? What stopped your grandfather from learning English? I mean, from learning how to read?
that would go back to the mentality that was instilled in us in slavery. Now look,
Your grandfather
look.
was a slave. He wasn't a fucking slave.
But his father was a slave. My
So
grandfather's
what if his
father
was a
was probably a
slave?
slave. That wealth, that information, all of the information that I've been giving my 19-year-old son, chaotic. So the snowball of information that's been passed down to generation to generation to generation.
Sir,
My
all
dad
I
wasn't
hear
in my life, right? Excuses? No, come on, man. No, I don't do the victims Olympics. No. I deal with facts. So I'm usually on your side of the fence. I don't do the victims Olympics. I'm pulling myself up out of bootstraps. And I have my family.
Did the Italians learn how to read when they got to Ellis Island? You know how? They figured it out. They didn't know English when they got here. They were just as illiterate as anybody else that came here. The Hungarians, the Germans. Well, German is close to English, but they learned English.
I agree. I'm with you on that. I believe
English
in that, but the people in the hood, as you would claim it,
or people in the
obviously
hood
they don't
free education from kindergarten to the 12th grade. The school system gives you free education for 12 years.
So you're saying, so that's a whole different discussion on how poor the public school system is. But they were rather buy those Jordans.
Sir, I taught in the public schools for many years. A lot of the federal, sir, you will be surprised how much money goes into the federal school. I mean, how much federal money goes into the inner city public schools. Sir, the kids in those schools and the parents are the problems. So
the school is everyone's the problem. The school,
no, everyone is
the
not
whole
the problem,
system is messed up.
The kids,
the parents, kids.
The kids act a fool in the school. They're so disruptive. Then the combative parents come there, and instead of having the teacher's side, they have their dumb kid side. And the teachers are saying, "Well, fuck it, then I can't." And then the teachers have to answer to the principals and the stupid administrators, and it's a system of idiocracy. You know this. Your kids. I bet you your kids are in private school or they're homeschooled.
Two of my kids in the private school.
I knew because you don't even want your kids around them niggas. Stop! You're talking to me.
No, I'm a leader, so I don't believe in. I'm a leader, so I don't believe in blaming the kids.
Let me ask you a question, sir. How come your kids don't go to public schools in the inner city? Exactly, sir.
But look. So we're still talking about percentages. You're talking about 10% of parents who. What percentage of parents in public school who are going to jump on you or get irate, who are not understanding?
50% of them.
Get out of here, chaotic. That's what we have a disagreement about.
I'm gonna tell you why.
50% chaotic. Come on,
it's
man.
A culture of violence, sir. You know this.
Yes, 20%. 20.
Okay, even if it was 20 is still high. So if it's 100 people, you mean to tell me I got to worry about 20? That's too much too. Imagine if I'm in a room and there's 100 dogs, and they say, well, 20 of these dogs will bite you. I don't want to be in that room. I don't want to be in a room if one of them dogs will bite me. But
that's what you signed up for. That's what you signed up for.
That's why
signed up as a teacher.
Teacher shortage.
That's true, and they don't get paid enough. So it's a whole system of issues. It's not just the kids, and I think it's all equal. It's the system, it's the teachers, it's the principal, it's the entire system. And you have more black leaders in these positions more so than they have been in the past. In your district, in your school district where you taught at, was it heavy minority leadership in the school board level, or was it more Caucasian?
Sir, I taught in, I don't want to name the school system.
Was it mixed?
It was heavily black, the administrators on down, straight bureaucracy with black women. And the fact of the matter is, whether it was black women or white women, it's a system of chaos because the kids are out of control. They're little animals. They're jumping all around, acting a fool. You can't say nothing to the little kids. And this is why I tell, especially black men, to not teach at all. And if you're going to teach, go to Korea, go to Qatar, go to Saudi, go to somewhere where you're appreciated. Get out of those black ass schools if you do want to teach, if you're a man. But you were going to ask me a question about the police earlier. What was the question?
No, it was. I
You was
can't
going to
remember.
ask me, have I ever experienced police brutality? And I'm going to tell you no. Generally speaking, and it goes back to what I keep saying and why I talked about Kevin Samuels. It's your presentation, it's your decorum.
I believe in that.
Yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
I'm not
I mean,
gonna have
if you
issues with police.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you get out the car smoking weed and you got a gun on your hip, cussing out the cop, of course you deserve your ass beat. I mean, what do you expect? But if you're a polite gentleman and, you know, it's like, excuse me, officer, what did I do? Well, you know, you were going 15 miles over the speed limit. I apologize, sir. I'm have my license and registration. Here you go. Nothing's going to happen to you.
So let me ask you this. So what about the guy, I don't know if you know the guy, Little Bootsy. He feels that the police keep continuously pulling him over. So he records the police and curses them out. Like, y'all are ridiculous. I'm not doing it. Y'all always bother me. He just feel like they already bothering
You're
him.
talking about Little Bootsy, who openly smokes weed, openly. Yeah, okay. Sir, you could have a point with that. I mean, but come on, man.
So they do kind of pick on him, man. But I mean, he is breaking the law. So I agree with you. But I just think that they shouldn't target people. You shouldn't target people, man. I do. That goes back to a question somebody asked me.
I want to point out. I don't know if Frizz is still there. Frizz, are you still there?
Yes.
I want to point out that a normal man says he didn't want y'all to have standards and not want to be around niggas, but at the end, his kids are safe and sound away from you niggas. Exactly. Nathan, I mean, I respect Nathan. I just think that he's a BSer.
Sir,
I knew his kids went to private school. I knew it. I knew his kids went to private school.
If I had kids, I would take them to private school too.
Of course. What's up? Just think. There is a Nigerian rapper. His name is Iyanya. You should look him up. I swear that you were Iyanya in the back end.
No, I look nothing like him. I don't think I.
What that is though?
I am Nigerian though, so I'm
Okay.
familiar with him.
Okay. Are you Yoruba or Igbo?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. That's
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah, you look like Iyanya. Sir, let me ask you a question. You've been listening to Frizz and Nathan. What say you about the entire topic?
No, you're right. 100,000% chaotic.
Thank you, sir.
I don't even think it's.
Keep it real, man. Don't hold back from FBA.
No, I'm not holding back.
Wait, can I ask him one
And
question?
to be honest too, and to you know, just to be honest, right? Like, you know, in Africa we got our own problems too. So I don't want to come off as saying that we're all good. I mean, when I talk about Nigeria, we got a million things that we could fix.
Yeah.
You know, but we gotta be honest. Like, you know, I went to a mostly Black and Hispanic school, and everything you're saying is spot on. And I think the bigger problem is, why are men playing the blame game like women? Do you get what I'm saying?
Let me answer that.
Frizz,
Well, what is that?
Frizz, hold on for a second.
Why are men playing the blame game like women? We're the ones who are supposed to be solving problems. We're blaming external factors all the time. The system, the this, the that, when we should be the one to come in and solve any kind of problem that comes up. Why are we always blaming? I think that's the main thing that really annoys me, because it's like the issues in the Black community should be solved by the men of the community, because they're the last resort. They're the builders. I mean, men, we created everything on this planet. We're the ones who enforce all the rules. We created, you know, we created everything. So why would we then blame? Oh, it's a system. It's the cops. It's this, it's that, instead of looking at ourselves, you know? And then whenever we talk about the crime problem, what makes me upset is like, oh, well, what about whites? Even if we were to look at ourselves in a vacuum, is the crime level even acceptable? It's not acceptable by ourselves. Forget Asians, forget everyone else on the planet. If we are the only people on the planet, hypothetically, is that level of crime acceptable? Let's be honest. Our black schools are horrible. You know, whenever you think about crime, you think about a young black man. And then when you ask other black people, like, oh, what are we gonna do about it? It's like we're blaming, we're blaming, we're blaming.
Like,
Instead of coming up with solutions to solve it, or being real with the nature of your problem. That's the one thing that we have to be real with. Like, what is the true, raw, 100% issue with? Because what we try to do as men, is what women do, right? They don't want to be 100% real with what their issue is. They want to kind of skirt around it. They want to say, "Oh, it's not that bad," or this or that. What if it actually is that bad? And what if you actually understanding that it's that bad will actually help you to resolve it or solve the problem? Like, because what Chaotic says is 100% right. I haven't heard anything he said that's wrong. Because that's the true, unadulterated nature of our problem within our community. Because you're never going to be able to solve anything if you don't know what the actual problem is. If you're taking a math test, but you're writing answers for social studies, you're going to make a 0. Are you going to blame the teacher? Why don't they have social studies questions on the exam? Because we're in math class. Do you get what I'm saying? So we have to be, it's the truth. We have a violence problem, but I think bigger than the violence problem is we have an accountability problem as men. Like, we are the ones who solve problems. We are the ones who build things. We are the ones who create things. We are the ones who are going to fix our own community. So if our own men are blaming external factors for our problems, then we just always going to be messed up. Because are you going to say, for instance, okay, the white man's evil, all of this stuff. Do you expect someone who shot you to take you to the hospital? Do you know what I'm saying? Say somebody came and robbed you. Say someone stole your TV, right? They robbed you at gunpoint, stole your TV. Are you never gonna buy another TV until that robber returns it to you? Well, he stole it from you. He needs to bring it. No, you're gonna go earn some money and get a new TV. And file a police report or do something else, but you're gonna eventually move on with your life. So like, are we gonna expect the people who enslaved us to bring us back up? Well, we were slaves. Okay, so we're just gonna sit on our ass and wait for our slave owners to come and help us? I mean, sometimes we have to sit down and listen to what we sound like. We sound like women. I'm sorry if I'm being disrespectful, on the channel or whatever. We sound like, the same thing that we're complaining about women about, right? Oh, they can't take no accountability. You ask them something and they give another bullshit out. The same kind of effeminate behavior is the same thing that we're doing, and it's pretty sad because the women are looking at us and saying they're the ones, they're looking at us as men. And they're saying, damn, our men aren't even able to take accountability. They over here complaining like how we're complaining. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when are we going to stop doing that? When are we going to stop doing that? The problem is global too. I don't want to say, I'm a Nigerian person. I'm not going to exalt my people and make it seem like, oh, we good and they bad. No, we all fucked up globally because we be doing the same shit. Oh, blaming the colonizer. You know what I'm saying? But
you got to watch the language real quick.
Oh, my bad. I apologize. But I just wanted to, I just get frustrated when I hear that. Let's start coming up with solutions.
Give me 1 second, sir. Jonathan Barronville with the $10 super chat says, woke black folks are a walking contradiction. I know a woke black woman here in Atlanta who owns multiple earthy businesses in the West End, but she lives almost an hour away, far from any black folks. Yeah. Sir, if you didn't want it to speak, sir, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just go ahead. You want to finish off? Go ahead.
No, I'll finish off. I'll hop back on. I mean, I want to stay on whatever, but I'll let someone else speak.
Yeah, stay on. Frizz, go ahead, sir.
All right, I heard you speak, brother, and we're not, and let me, Chaotic, I want to say something too. One thing that was great about Kevin Samuels is that he respected blue collar worker. I'm a blue collar worker. I'm the guy that works 60, 70 hours at a plant. You know what I'm saying? So, and he gave the general respect to the average black man that was just working.
Absolutely.
He picked the numbers up.
Absolutely.
So one thing that we do that is very wrong is that, like what Just Think said, and he said something like on the lines of like, I want to get my thoughts together because I was just texting and writing, but he said something like, are we going to go to the people that enslave us for freedom? We're not doing that. Nobody I know are doing that. We're not even asking for help. As far as I know, from any black-owned businesses or black-owned anything, they do not ask for help from the government, from anybody else. They do not. So we're not beggars by no means. In fact, every average black man I know, they turn their back on the government. They don't even care. They don't even vote. So like that's a misconception. And I understand, you two guys are from different regions and so you look at it with a different lens. But one thing, how can we elevate? And this is, how can we elevate if we're there's no way in hell we can elevate if we're just saying, hey, well, I don't want to work with you because you're dressed like this, or you know what, or you brought up issues, so therefore you're crying. But your whole platform is about bringing up issues and addressing the issues, but yet you're going to criticize the main platform. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'd rather work with any black man on any situation, whatever he's going through. I don't care, because I walk certain grounds on this earth, and I understand it's not fair, and I understand that, hey, whatever I can do to make it easier on you, I believe in the true each one teach one. But like I would not criticize or downplay just because people are put in an environment and say, make the most of it. Like I said, I don't want to come off criticizing or coming off like a bitter person, but it's like, it's like, brother, man. And then there's a fear, because like, let's just say I give Just Think and Chaotic, a chance. And I say, hey, you know what? You're right. You guys are smarter than me on some political and business shit, but I know how to build houses, and I know masonry, and I know millwright, and I got all these trades on my belt, and I'm gonna help you work with your business, build a building. I'm gonna be there on any days that I'm not working, and I'm not gonna ask for pay. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you a question, Frizz?
Yes.
Hey man, I got mad respect for you.
Okay.
And I'm not trolling when I ask you this question. I don't want you to think I'm trolling.
Okay.
Just before I ask you this question, please forgive me, sir. Your girlfriend or significant other is white or Hispanic. Keep it real.
I'm single.
Okay, but you're
see, that's not fair.
Come
on, that's not. Listen,
no. Hold on. I'm asking you.
Oh my goodness.
Your last girlfriend was white or Hispanic. Keep it real, sir.
Yo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. Ready? My last girlfriend was a black woman that moved to my city. We both wasn't in a good place in life, and we said, hey, listen, we're just going to make the most of it. And when it came down to picking out houses, that's what's caused our breakup.
So you did. So you have dated. So you only date black women?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because mostly when I hear all this blackity black talk, it's always somebody dating somebody white. Okay, I'm just making sure. Go ahead. Okay, you're legit now. Go ahead, sir. It's real. Yeah. Okay, I'm making sure. Okay, good.
I love the sisters.
Okay.
Black of the berry, sweet of the juice. I don't like the cosmetic sisters, but I do love the sisters. I got you. But like, I would work with you. I would say to myself, whatever. You know, I read a comment. I was told not to read the comments because, like, I don't. But trust me, I don't date outside my race. I don't date seriously outside my race. Let me say that. But
you would date Scarlett Johansson if she gave you the time. Keep it real.
Scarlett Johansson, the person, or just a chick that looks like Scarlett Johansson?
Scarlett Johansson, the person. Let's keep it a buck. You would date her. Keep it real. Keep it real.
But ain't she like 40 something? What good is she to me?
But she's
what good is
she's still?
Listen. I have a podcast, right? Yeah. But one thing I want to say to something about brothers too. Yeah. And I'm like, I keep hearing like people say, get your money up, get your money up, get your money up. But I would definitely like brothers to get their character up, their instincts up. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why I don't judge a man by his money, because sometimes it's that dollar that you accepted that the next man didn't. Like, I can't do that because by accepting this dollar, I'm putting my people back.
Blue Sky says woke blacks will live in a neighborhood that is 90% white, but complain about
bro.
That's the truth.
You talk to them secretly, like, oh, you gonna raise your kids around black people? They'd be like, oh, you tripping, bro? No, I'm good. Like, you know what I'm saying? They be full of shit for real.
Yeah, real
stuff.
Do you believe that though?
Oh, I believe it's the truth.
But we gotta stop talking about.
They're not woke. They're not nothing.
No, he's talking. It's like
city. I'm not from like no Chicago or Philadelphia, but I'm not from. But you're saying they're not woke. They're not nothing. This is what a disease.
No, nobody's saying that. Black by Design. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Black by Design says, ask yourself this: if black people gave the real culture, logic, rational thinking a better way of living, what are even doing? What are we even doing? I don't know what he means by that. Sorry about that, but thank you so much, Black by Design.
Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to say.
Yeah,
but I think the whole argument, another argument we need to stop putting out there is this whole environment argument. Oh, it's my environment, or they keep on messing with us. We as men, we have to accept that there's always going to be things that are going to be interfering with us. Things are going to interfere. There's going to be challenges. You can't expect to improve if you can only improve in a perfect environment. It will not be perfect. Hold on, let me ride for a little bit. It's not going to be perfect. They're going to interfere. People are going to F with you. People are going to try to undermine you, but you have to create a system that will, be able to effectively circumvent that. Because the whole argument of, if people didn't interfere, if this didn't happen, if that didn't happen, that's the way of life. If you're never going to be able to improve your situation because of people interfering or trying to mess you up, life is competition. People, we're all competing for resources. We're all competing for the same resources. So that excuse of environment, or that excuse of, they put drugs in our community, or they did this in our community. Our community has to be so tight and so strong